Just a couple days ago, Tucker Carlson released a video where he completely exposed elites for using secret biochemical weapons. Now, I know what you're thinking, that these biochemical weapons would be very easy to spot and see. However, what he exposed is something you are actually probably familiar with, if you're in the US at least. Now, just a couple days ago, Tucker Carlson posted a video to his Twitter and then YouTube about Lyme disease. Yes, Lyme disease. In this video, Tucker Carlson talks to Kris Newby, who is an expert in this field. Her argument is that these things were not made in nature, but rather made by elites for reasons we don't exactly know. Maybe depopulation, maybe control of some sort. I'm not sure. The post got over 6.5 million views in just a couple days at this point. So without further ado, let's take a look at the video that blew up X. The video was originally posted to Tucker Carlson's YouTube channel, @TuckerCarlson, and the video is called The True Origins of Lyme Disease. Let's just get right into it. And just so you guys know, I am watching this video in 1.25 speed, just so we can get through everything a little bit faster and not waste your time.
A quick and succinct overview of what Lyme is.
So Lyme disease is caused by a spirochetal bacteria, and you get it through a tick bite. And if you treat it immediately with doxycycline or amoxicillin, it will go away.
Really quick, I just wanted to stop the video right there just to show you guys this post. The bacteria of Lyme disease is shaped as a corkscrew. This post says Lyme disease is literally millions of microscopic corkscrew bacteria that drill their way through skin, muscles, joints, bones, nerves, organs, and brain tissues, causing out of control inflammation and a myriad of disabling complicated symptoms. I quickly just wanted to show you guys, this is what the bacteria looks like. Yeah, not super fun. However, I digress. Let's just get back into the video.
If you're 75 years old, you did not grow up with Lyme disease. If you're 15 years old, you're worried about Lyme disease. That's a pretty short period. Where do we think this came from?
And what my research said is that there are actually 3 really virulent tick-borne diseases that showed up right around Lyme, Connecticut, at the mouth of the Connecticut River, which is right across from Plum Island, which was the U.S.'s anti-animal crop headquarters for the biological weapons program. So late 60s, the peak of the biological weapons program in the US, these 3 freaky diseases showed up.
That sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory to me. Just because you have previously rare diseases show up all at once across from a biological weapons facility doesn't mean... So the CDC investigated this. What did they find?
Normally when you discover a dangerous new disease, you say, oh, this is horrible, give us money, we'll research it. But instead, it just became more and more secretive.
And now I think this is a great point because we see this time and time again, where things that should be a big deal and be investigated are simply just pushed under the rug. And I have some things later in this video that I'm going to show you that will exactly prove my point. So all that is very interesting and thought-provoking, and it doesn't sound unlike something the government would do. Now, Plum Island has been known for quote-unquote sketchy things. So really quick, I don't know much about Plum Island as it is. However, the one story I do know is about the Montauk Monster. Now, this is a picture. I wish I could show you a bigger one, but I don't think YouTube would be too much of a fan of that. However, the people that found it said this: we were looking for a place to sit and play ball games, like they did in the summer of '93 when we saw some people looking at something. We didn't know what it was. We joked that maybe it was something from Plum Island. And then under identifications, it says, initial media reports included speculation that the Montauk Monster might have been a turtle without its shell, although turtles are fused with the spine and cannot be removed in this way, a dog, a large rodent, or a science experiment from the nearby government animal testing facility, the Plum Island Animal Disease Center. Now, none of this has been confirmed whatsoever. This is all just speculation, but the whole point I'm making here is that Plum Island has been known in the past for sketchy things that they hide from the public. Now, to go further more into this video, the Vigilant Fox posted a tweet that said this. New, as Bill Gates experiments with mosquitoes, author Kris Newby tells Tucker Carlson that weaponized fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes have historically been, in quotes, the perfect stealth weapon. Military reports in the 60s suggest that, in quotes, we can kill 10,000 people at $1.33 a life without destroying infrastructure. Newby described this tactic as, in quotes, poor man's nuke. She revealed she was told by a CIA Black Ops individual about Operation Mongoose, where poison ticks were dropped on Cuban sugarcane workers as a form of biological warfare. This was the first evidence that ticks were used as bioweapons. Newby described how fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes were manipulated to carry more dangerous pathogens, explaining that fleas were infected with the plague, mosquitoes were filled with the deadly Trinidad virus, and ticks were loaded with a variety of lethal and debilitating diseases. Now, Newby is raising questions about whether Lyme disease is of natural origins or if it was a production of experimentation. And under this, he posted a video again from the Tucker Carlson interview. So let's take a look at it.
So it's a rickettsia. It is the same organism that causes Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and that's the most deadly tick-borne disease in the United States. It also was a germ that was being weaponized by the U.S. military at the time. And so what is tick weaponization? So in the interviews with Willie, what he said was, I spent over a decade in the biological weapons program, a contractor to Fort Detrick, weaponizing fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, trying to mass produce them, stuffing fleas with the plague, stuffing mosquitoes with deadly Trinidad virus, and then stuffing ticks with either deadly or incapacitating diseases like relapsing fever, Venezuelan equine encephalitis, rabies, leptospirosis, which is another spirochete, trying to make new diseases, mixing bacteria and virus in ticks with the intent of, this is the perfect stealth weapon. It's poor man's nuke.
Now, what she's saying has supposedly been done before, as mentioned above, in Operation Mongoose. Now, reading a little deeper into Operation Mongoose, apparently, and again, there's not much information on this, but dropping the poisonous ticks on the Cuban sugarcane workers didn't work as well as they liked. It actually didn't really work at all. And this is due because ticks don't bite people on a certain time frame. And even if they do bite people on a certain time frame, it still takes a while for the poison and other things they fill the ticks with to affect them, basically. I know this probably sounds crazy to some people, but there's an actual interview that will kind of bring some validity to this. Here is an interview of Rand Paul talking about Bill Gates on Fox News. Let's take a look.
Look, Bill Gates has been over there recently. Bill Gates is the largest funder of trying to find these viruses in remote caves and bring them to big cities. So what happened in China is they went 8 to 10 hours south of Wuhan, 200 to 300 feet deep into a cave, found viruses and took them back to a city of 15 million. Viruses that we may never interact with. They bring them back to the lab, but then they manipulate them by combining them with other viruses to create viruses that don't exist in nature. But this has largely been funded by Bill Gates. He funds the WHO more than most countries do.
Now that really makes you think about Bill Gates, who in the past has openly said that he is for some kind of depopulation and that overpopulation is a big problem now, never mind in the future. And to make it even more scary, another post said this: Bill Gates purchased shares in BioNTech, Pfizer's partner for its C shots, I can't say it because of YouTube, in September 2019, just months before the P was announced. Gates purchased 1 million shares at pre-public offering price of $18 per share. Gates dumped his stocks in November 2021 at the average sale price of $300 a share. Gates on the same day said, in quotes, "We need a new way of doing the V because the V didn't stop transmission," despite all of his previous claims to his contrary. It's almost like Gates knew C was going to be released, and he also knew the V were never designed to stop transmission. And then under the post was a video attached, so let's take a look at it.
Malaria eradication will be incredibly difficult. Further out in the future, we'll actually have gene drive, which changes the genetics of the mosquitoes. We have great tools today that we need to keep evolving and some very exciting ones in the pipeline, because those will be key to achieve our ultimate goal of eradication.
Now, right off the bat, sorry for pausing it, but this is a little scary because he's already admitting to the fact that they are already trying to mutate genes in mosquitoes to supposedly help people. But, that could easily go the other way as well to, hurt people.
Article from NPR citing a study, and there's multiple other studies. They can use mosquitoes. What they've done is they call them flying syringes. So what they do is they take these mosquitoes and they bioengineer them. And they say, well, listen, these mosquitoes that we've bioengineered have malaria, but it can't make you sick. So they claim to genetically engineer it so that it can't spread malaria, but that can make you, have enough of the dead or attenuated virus in you that you can create an immune response. Well, the problem is what if that doesn't work? Aren't you just spreading malaria? And then you're putting it out there in a genetically modified way. Who knows how it's going to evolve from there, because you've tinkered with nature then. So you've got this disastrous situation where Gates is engineering something that he says we can't, it won't spread. No, that won't spread at all. And we should just trust Bill Gates because he's a good guy. If you put it in the mosquitoes, how do you get informed consent?
And really quick, Bill Gates is not a doctor at all, even though he always acts like he is. I just had to throw that out there really quick. Nevertheless, is any of this true? Does it have any factual validity? Are there numbers? Are there articles? Are there anything about this that can prove it to us? The short answer is yes. This is the BioNTech website, literally the website. This is published on the 4th of September, 2019, and right here, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation invests $55 million in an infectious disease collaboration that could bring up to $100 million in total funding. And mind you, take a look at the date and take a look at when the P was announced. Again, here's an article on sec.gov, which literally says in fine print right here, on August 30th, 2019, BioNTech entered into agreements with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They agreed to purchase 3 million ordinary shares. This is crazy because number one, I have never heard about it from anyone. I haven't seen it online, nothing. It was kind of swept under the rug. And also, why would he be investing into a company like this literally right before the P? Again, here is some other, I wouldn't call it evidence, but if you go on the Bill Gates YouTube channel, you can see he loves to use the P word in a lot of his videos. Let's see, right here, and it's very much the same title. Right here, Mosquito Factory. Right here is an interesting one. Does saving more lives lead to overpopulation? Yada, yada, yada. Now, this does not prove anything just from the videos on his channel. However, I thought it was a bit ironic that he's definitely involved in this stuff. Now, under the post, there is a lot of funny memes, more on which I'll show you later. And there's a lot of people with pretty much the same reaction that goes along the lines of Anthony Fauci and anyone else who has engineered these horrible diseases needs to be prosecuted in jail for life. Yada, yada, yada. A lot of people saying the same thing. And frankly, I agree. Now we need more evidence proving that they did this. I personally, with lack of evidence, believe that they did this. However, you can't put someone in jail for life with no hard evidence. Nevertheless, here's another one that I thought was pretty funny when I hear someone say, in quotes, the government would never do that. And then you have all these other quote unquote conspiracies, which a lot of them haven't proven true at this point. MK Ultra, poisoning, Operation Northwoods, Operation Mockingbird, poisoning St. Louis, all this stuff that the government has secretly and sneakily done. Some of which I believe has been proven true, some of them. And also, finally, I'm gonna end this video off with a clip from the BPD podcast where they said this.
Fauci, when he was sitting there, that SOB knew for a fact that that virus came from the Wuhan lab. He knew that because he had funded the gain of function research in that lab, and he had already begun to design a cover-up. And we know that from the emails he sent to a group of researchers, academics, trying to get their support to push that come from nature theory. And that's the biggest lie of omission in American history.
What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think it is all a conspiracy, a crazy conspiracy, or do you think it's all true? And why do you think it's true? Do you think it's true to depopulation? Is it just money? Is it a mix of all those? Or do you have your own opinion? Let me know down below. I would love to hear it. So with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And like I just said 2 seconds ago, let me know your opinion. And with that all being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.